Hey y'all, this is That Mother Effing Podcast. I'm Jazzy. We got Jay Mills here and Jodeci back again to talk about Raising Kanan, episode 8. Recap, predictions, discussion, etc. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it. I think we should first talk about what happened at the beginning when Rock went to Palomar's house, and told her, "Okay, listen, you done with my son." And Palomar tried to be like, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about," and she's like, "No, I asked around about you. This is what you do." Yeah, I would have never. I didn't guess that Palomar was out there being a real live pedophile. Um, Now, of course, we seen what she was doing, and we knew that she was a grown woman doing this, etc. But I had no idea that she was really going to be a pedophile. Like this was what she really does all the time. So that was a little like, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
like
that
really,
definitely threw me off. I ain't expect that either. I was like, damn, you done mess with multiple little niggas, man. Y'all, yo, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
right? I know her daughter got to be embarrassed of her mother. Like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that. I mean, she got to be, she probably dislikes her mother so much because, like, Palomar might think it's cool, but like, nah, that is not cool. That's embarrassing. Like, not only did you take my man, but you be out there sleeping with all other little men. Like, she probably got to hide all her men from her mother. Like, that's really pathetic. But
Yes.
so Rock puts a gun to her head and tells her, leave Kanan alone. And looks like Palomar's gonna do that.
Because you remember, she said that she's heard of Rock before. I think she told Kanan that, and that was one
Right,
of the reasons why she wanted to mess with him. So I'm
right,
thinking, does she have like a inside connect to other drug dealers, and possibly, Kanan and her still have a relationship under wraps, and maybe she's one of the people that introduced her to somebody that may know Breeze. She may not introduce her to Breeze, but maybe somebody else that she may know. 'Cause she said she heard of Rock. I mean, she might be in the game a little bit undercover or something like
well,
that. We just
I'm thinking she heard of Rock because Rock's name rings in the street.
Pretty
yeah.
much, pretty much.
Yeah,
If you making big moves and you out there like that, that's how people most likely gonna know you. They gonna know of you from being a big shot.
right,
Yeah.
right. That's how I figured she knew who she was. But I also thought to myself, like, okay, so what was your motive here? Like, that Kanan's mother is Rock and that attracted you to him, but what was your end game here? Like, what about that attracted you? Like, apparently she likes to live life on the wild side,
I
but
was
I
just about to
mean,
say, I just think it was just like a little thrill type of
the
thing.
rarity.
Like she just wanted to do it.
It could be
Right.
that. She just so happened just to have a gun in the house and just gave it to Kanan a few episodes ago. So,
Hmm.
she
Right.
she's in her life, definitely.
Right. So I mean, I guess we'll see, if she really does leave Kanan alone.
Mm.
From when Kanan came to the door, it seemed like, she really is going to leave him alone. And let me just say this,
Buddy was
don't
hurt.
I
He
was
was.
about to say he was hurt.
Yes,
He
he was.
was hurt.
My nigga was hurt, man.
Just give
Why
up
she
that
why
easy.
she had to block like that? Why she had to block like that, bruh? That was cold. She ain't had to do my boy Kane like that, man.
She
Yeah.
did if she want to live.
Yeah.
Yo,
I don't think Kanan gonna give up that easy. I think he's gonna. I think she may give in eventually, especially if she's back next season, because we're towards the end of this season. Especially if she's back next season. Then I
right.
Right.
think um,
Well, that
it's
is the
something.
question. That is the question. Is she really going to leave him alone, or is she going to sneak around with him?
Yep.
Um, I guess that's a big question. I mean, because even when he came to the door and she didn't want to open it, she was acting like she, was like in her feelings about it.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
she had feelings for him.
I
So
bet she low key did. Shit.
She probably did.
yeah, like just the way she was like, Like I don't know, it just was like a little weird. So yeah.
Yeah,
And he banging on that door, like, dude, relax.
and he's
And he
gonna be
Hey,
saying,
listen. Listen. That's probably his first time getting some. You know what I'm saying? So and then she an older woman. She probably put that thing on him. You know what I'm saying? He would probably. He ain't know what to do.
well, we know she put it on him because he when the girl walked in, he was about to run after her, and she's like, "Come back," and he just like, "F her, F her, I'm good." So
Right?
yeah,
Hell yeah.
so
yeah,
yeah, we definitely know. But so yeah, so Famous was listening in. Famous is not going to school. So Kanan, comes over to Famous house. He's like, you ain't been in school, etc. And then that's when he ends up telling Kanan about, that his mother was there, how she put the gun to Palamon's head, etc. And like we just talked about, he went over there, basically ready to cry over this woman, etc. Um, so he come back, and when he come back in the room, he sees Famous is looking, had went through his bag, and he's looking at the envelope, which he didn't even open. Famous opened
Hmm.
the envelope, talking about, oh, I was looking for my schoolwork. First of all, that's a nosy mother effer, okay? Who just goes
Facts.
in somebody's bag and opens up a whole envelope?
yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna be real. I think they go back to what we. I don't know if I said it or if one of us mentioned it, but I think he finna end up getting hooked on drugs, and I think that's what he was looking for. I don't think he was just being nosy. I think he was trying to find to see if Kanan had some drugs on him.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good.
oh, that was a good thought right there.
Real talk. I don't. It's just something about that kind of threw me off. I'm like, bro, ain't just going through his bag. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, bro. I think he might be already hooked on something, man.
And
Man,
I mean,
he,
remember, he was at the table, like, not like sleeping, sitting up at the table.
yeah,
Like, and it was like, why are you sleeping at the table? Like, does he have a bed? But he has a couch, but it's just weird. Like, you're not even going to school, but you're up that early in the morning, like, I don't know.
exactly.
It's just weird. So you know what? That would make a little bit of sense right there. Maybe he
Yeah,
was. Why would he go in his bag? Like, do you normally go in his bag? Like,
exactly.
that was a little weird, and that makes sense right there.
Looking for
Okay,
drugs.
so well, he sees, the envelope, and he's like, I see it has your initials and it has MH on it. Why you need a test to know that that's your dad? Famous. He he's not a real street guy, you know?
Right.
So if he was to get pulled over and interrogated, he might slip up and, mention some things that he doesn't need to mention. And I mean, that could be another reason why he's killed as well too.
And he
It
run his
could
mouth
be,
too much.
yeah.
He
I mean, it
does.
could
Just
be
not everything.
Kanan that has to kill him, you know?
It might be.
And and right, and that's why he names his son after him because that was his best friend. But you know too much. Like he's MH. He Detective Howard picked him, got him out of jail. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It's
Right.
not hard for him to find out what Detective Howard's name was.
yeah. Just
Let's say he gets pulled, if let's say the police pull him in again and they say Detective Howard's first name in there, and then he starts thinking like, damn, this person got me out of jail, whatever. Like, I don't know, it's just a little iffy. But I'm still with you that it could be that he got hooked on drugs, or etc. um
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. We don't see him writing any music lately within the last couple of episodes or anything. So
Right, not at all, not
the
at
Lou
all.
on to be in the studio, write some lyrics and all that. Get in the studio. He's more focused on the girl right now. As he
Well,
said,
Famous is about to get kicked out.
he
If
is.
somebody
Hmm.
doesn't, if Kanan does not give him, because Kanan is paying his rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's stealing the drugs, he's stealing the money, etc. That's helping him out. So, he just said the dude is looking for Crown to, get the studio time, and Crown
Exactly.
gone.
Yeah, Crown gone.
So, he's possibly, at risk of being kicked out.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, I don't know. But so with this discussion, do you have anything more you guys want to add?
I don't really have anything
Nah.
else.
Okay. So Kanan leaves, and he's at the bus stop and he sees Scrap's mother. And she's like, listen, your mother ain't doing nothing about my son dying. Like, what's going on? And he's like, well, it was, he killed himself. And she was like, nah, that's not what happened. And it's not what happened. So
Exactly.
tell her she need to do something, or I'm gonna do something. What do you guys think she's going to do?
Go straight to
Snitch. The
the
only
ping.
thing she can do, cause she ain't gonna go toe to toe with Rock. She ain't gonna go to toe with none of them. So that's the only thing she gonna do is snitch.
Yes,
Mm,
Nick, go to Detective Ping, and if there's some type of trial or something, she'll be like a witness or something, or say something.
mhm.
You know,
Right,
she's
right. So I
definitely.
guess we'll see.
We all know that.
I guess we'll see what happens with that.
Exactly.
So Kanan takes a bus to go see his mother. She want to show him the new house that they got, that she purchased, and she's so excited, but he's not feeling her. He is definitely now at the point where he is not feeling his mother anymore. Like all her lies are starting to catch up to her. He's starting to see things for what they really are. And when he took the paper from Famous that, was the DNA results, um, I don't know how he took, well, apparently he must know that at that point that is the DNA results said that Detective Howard was his dad.
Yeah,
Um,
cause famous was like, yo, this a daddy test, bro. Like, woo woo.
right,
So yeah, he told him what it was.
right. He's like, why do you need this to know, who your father is? You already know,
Mm,
whatever. So I think that is like an indication of, like, yeah, because if it was a no, he would have been like, that ain't your dad. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So now he knows. So now, like, it's even worse because Kane's like, damn, you just went to, my woman, you just messed me up with her. You didn't want
Hmm.
to help Famous out, get him out of jail. You killed my homie, my other best friend. And now you lying to me about my dad. And this whole time you got me thinking that I should be believing you. And then not even that, you had me pull a trigger on him. Like, what is really good? you know?
It's
So
crazy.
all of that makes him like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I need some time from you. Um, do y'all think that he's going to stay away long, or do you think he's going to come back quick?
I definitely think he's going to stay away for the rest of the season, and maybe this is just continue into next season, possibly. You know, that's why I
It
think
just depends on if they do a time jump or not.
Mm-hmm.
they could do a time jump. I mean, we've been asking for that for season two. They didn't do it, so maybe for season three they do a time jump. So maybe he'll be like 18 at that point and definitely be on his own instead of 16. So I think he's I think all the things that Rock has done is definitely pushing him away. Everything you just said, Jazzy, everything that Rock did is definitely pushing Kanan away at this point. And honestly, I thought he was gonna pull a Diana from Ghost Book 2, and just laid out a DNA test like that.
Mm-hmm. I thought he
That's
was
what
going
he
to do
should have
that
did.
too.
I thought
That's what he should have did.
that's what he should have did. You know,
Yeah. I thought he was going to do that too. And if you notice, she's still lying to him. She's like, we said no more lies, but you still lying.
still lying.
Right.
Right. That's why he's like, oh yeah, yeah, the truth. Uh-huh. Okay. Like, okay, because you lying. Like, you still lying out your mouth. Like, so yeah, I definitely feel like their relationship at this point is torn, especially when at the end of the episode when he, looked and, actually saw for himself the
Right.
results, you know. I mean, let's look and
Right.
see. Like he went and ended up staying at Detective Howard's house, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that goes to show you
Mhm.
already, that he is having more trust in him than he's having in her. So, do you
Yeah.
guys have anything you
Because
want to add?
Detective Howard is being
Right.
um. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna say something. I mean, we all three of us saw this coming though. Ever since probably
Yeah.
season one, we knew that
Mhm.
at this point, we knew at some point that Rock and Kanan was gonna have some type of issues, and Kanan will be on his own. Has to happen for him to run into Breeze, because he's not gonna be on the Rock, fully on the Rock, and then run into Breeze.
Right,
You
right,
see what I'm saying? So they got to be some type of breakup and some type of issues between those two. For him to meet Breeze and for us to continue going on with his story and all this. Because it's like really the first chapter in the story right here. You know.
right, right. Definitely. I just hope we don't really, do too much of this in season 3, honestly. I'm ready to get on with some new storylines. So,
Exactly. At this point.
Hell yeah. Bring Ghost and Tommy in that shit, man.
right, even though we know they ain't coming until like season 4 or something.
More than likely,
Um,
yeah.
if we
it's
do
too
a time
soon.
jump, if we do a time jump to '93, they'll be 13, maybe 14 or something. So
Hmm.
maybe they'll be corner boys or something. I don't know.
Right. So let's get into Detective Howard. So, on the last episode, we saw Howard going to, um, what's the girl's name again? Nicole. We saw Howard going to Nicole's house, and he's talking to the dad. So when Detective Howard goes to the captain and tells him, like, listen, Detective Burke, she's all in my stuff. And we know we don't like nobody in our stuff, in our old cases, etc. So the captain is like, she got her own stuff going on. The mother and the father have issues with her because they believe that she is pushing drugs to the young girls. So
Hey, now
you
check
think
this. Check this real quick. Side note onto that. Do you think that Detective Howard, when he met the father, that he said something to the father about that, and now all of a sudden the father?
that's where I was going? Mhm.
That's a
That's
good
Okay,
where I
point.
was going.
That's a good
Yes, I
point.
was just about to ask that question. Do you guys think he's the one that put that bug in the father's ear? Because
I definitely gotta feel like that's what happened, man.
Yeah.
remember this, when the mother was complaining, the father was not. He just wanted it to be done and over with. Now
Exactly.
all of a sudden, the father is complaining too, and he never did.
Exactly.
It's like, what did Detective Howard say? I really want to know what he said to get the father to even believe that, you know? But this may bite him in the butt because we saw Jukebox saw him go to the door.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jukebox has some kind of little bit of loyalty to this lady in a sense. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? More than she does to Detective Howard. And she probably looks at Detective Howard as someone trying to ruin her family. So she
Yeah.
would be on, this lady's side more than anything. But unless she finds out that, what this lady is doing, of course she wouldn't help her. But I don't think she'll find that out, not at first, anyways. Um, but yeah, so that made me wonder, what was that Detective Howard? I tried to like, see his face and his expression, and it did kind of seem like, like maybe he knew about it. Um, but so he tells the captain about her, and captain calls her in and is like, listen, stop it. This is your last and final warning to stop doing this. People are already watching you. The higher ups are watching you. Stop it. So part of me felt like, well, maybe she's gonna stop. First of all, I can't stand her facial expressions, man. I can't stand them. They blow me. Hurt me. When she came back and sat down, all those faces she was making, I can't stand them.
Yeah.
But anywho, so you know, here she go again, going up to Rock after you was just told to not do this. And then out of all people, you're gonna go to Rock. Do you know how smart Rock is?
Right.
The
Like
dumbest shit ever. Why would you try to go toe to toe with the person who's the head of their organization? Just
Right.
well,
dumb.
come on now. Rock is smart with her responses. Rock didn't give her no responses. She's like, listen, unless you talking to me about pumpkins, I think it was pumpkins or apple or
Apples.
something. Okay,
Apples.
unless
Right.
you talking to me about apples, I'm saying pumpkin pie because it's Halloween. but but
Right.
unless you talking to me about apples, like I got nothing to talk to you about. Like Rock shut her down quick, and there
Hmm.
was really nothing that she could say, like at all. But
And I think
apparently
like
now we know she's not going to quit.
yeah, and the fact that she's not going to quit, there's only two ways her story is going to end. She's either going to get transferred to another department in another state, or she's going to wind up getting shot and dying.
And I'm going with
I
the
thought when
latter.
they called her to the office that she was finna get fired. Then, so I'm surprised. I think she gonna end up being like Sax and being one of those people that get dragged along the whole all the way to the end.
She
I
might be
hope
related
not, because I'm about
to
sick of her. But we
Facts.
all but we always have to have somebody that we sick of,
Yep.
yeah,
that lasts. Somebody that is just like, oh, get them off the screen. Get
yeah,
rid of
Right.
her. There's
yeah.
always that person, and I feel like that's the only person that, we would really want to get rid of right now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nobody else, like not even I don't even think anybody has those feelings about like Sal or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Worrell. Like I don't think anybody has those feelings for except for her, you know? So jukebox. So to me, I felt like this was one of the best parts of this episode.
Hmm.
Um, we got a little bit of a look into why Juke is the way she is. Now this is small. Well, I'm not gonna say it's small, but this isn't like something huge, but it's still something, something that you'll never forget. Um,
Yeah.
something
Yes.
that is gonna, make her number one. Now she don't want to, F with her mother. So, real quick, her mother invites her over, tells her to skip school. She has no idea why she's skipping school. And she gets there and the house is full of church people. Like, what is going on here? Like, what are we doing? They sit her in a chair. They bring the TV over. They make her watch a man and a woman together to say like this is good. Then they make her watch two women together and beat her basically, to and inflict pain on her so that whenever she sees, or thinks about, being with a woman that she remembers the pain. Now y'all know this is the way they used to do it back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like shock
So
therapy. Is to make you
yes.
Yeah.
feel pain of doing the whatever considered wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
So you
Some type
start
of
feeling
version.
pain when you do it.
Some
Right,
type of
right.
version or something.
These are definitely some psychology um techniques,
But
that
I wonder how her mother even found out she was gay.
I think, because I thought about that myself, and I think it was her demeanor, it was her hair, it was the way she dressed. I think it
But
was
she
all of
dressed
that.
feminine though. Remember when she was around her mama, she dressed feminine.
But that's because her mother bought her those clothes.
Yeah.
Before her mother bought her those clothes, she didn't dress feminine, she dressed like a boy.
Right,
You know,
right.
you know, she dressed like a boy, because she was more, of a boy. You
Mhm.
know, think about it. She started wearing her hair down when she was with her mother, but before she was wearing it, back in a ponytail,
Right.
or with some type of like braid or whatever, you know.
Mhm.
So, you know, th- her mother, Kendra, she looked, like she felt bad about her being hit, but she still didn't stop it. And y'all
Hmm.
seen the way Juke was looking at her. The whole time they were hitting her, Juke was just looking at her.
Mhm.
Like, how could you do this?
And
How
the and
could
the
you do
way
this to me?
and the way Kenya looked remind me of that movie Get Out. The way the
Mm,
expression on her face reminded me of that. She's trying to brainwash her. She's trying
mhm.
to get her to act a certain way and get her to think a certain way and to get her lifestyle to change and all that. It just reminded me of that movie Get Out. Just a side note on that.
My thing is, Kendra barely knew her. So
Yeah.
why would you do this? You barely even knew her. You have ruined your relationship, your chance of even having a relationship with her because of that. Like you should have took some more time to get to know her. You should have talked to her yourself about this before you bombarded her with this. She just really went about that all wrong.
Oh yeah. Jukebox
Like,
has been good the last couple of seasons. Season one, Marvin, putting hands on her, and now this. My
right.
mom. And now I guess her and her dad is talking again or has some type of relationship now. So she's going
Well,
through it. And we're definitely seeing why Jukebox was so messed up in power. We're definitely seeing bits and pieces on why she's so messed up.
right. And if you think about it, when her father put hands on her, he put hands on her because she was gay.
Yeah, she did.
They both did something to her because she was gay. So
Who
it is a
jukebox?
little funny, huh?
Yeah.
You saying he put her father? You saying Marvin put his hands on jukebox because of that?
Yeah, remember
Mhm.
he found the tape
Yeah.
and he
I thought
saw
it was no, it was because she spit on him. Because he didn't hit her till she spit on him.
but
He now
that's what but
he talked bad to her, and then that made her react and say, like whatever, and then she spit, and then that's
right,
when it yeah.
that made him flip. But at the same time, he was downing her. He,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
my point of it was saying was that he did basically the same thing that her mother did.
Yeah.
So I
In a
find it
sense,
a
yeah.
little bit I find it a little bit funny that, because he disagreed. You could say in a sense, but it's really not in a sense. He disagreed, and that's what it boils down to is that they both disagreed and they were not going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin was not going for it. The mother was not going for it. But now Marvin has no choice but to go for it.
Yeah.
Because if you want a relationship with her, you're going to have to look past that. And he's seeing that with Kendra, with that situation. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
have to look past, the fact that she likes women if you want a relationship with her. Because you see, she wants nothing to do with Kendra because of, of course, what Kendra did, but also because Kendra is not going to allow her to be her. She tried to go and change herself. And you see, too, the boy was there too.
Yeah, the boy that she went out with, he was there too. Yeah.
Right. Like he was there too. So I don't know, but to me, I thought it was funny, that now, Marvin wants to be Captain Save Jukebox, when he felt the same way.
But you know what? I think the anger management may have
Has come
possibly
to
opened him up a little bit more to accept his daughter for the way she is,
right,
possibly, and just be more patient and just to hold
right.
hold back his anger. So that may have helped him a little bit too, also. So,
That and the fact that he lost his daughter and he wants his daughter back. So,
yeah,
when
too.
people are put in those situations, if they really want that person in their life, they are willing to, accept things.
Yeah, but
So,
that,
I think he's willing to accept it.
we could tell that really hurt him because every time he wanted to talk to the therapist, he always brought up jukebox, his daughter, and controlling his anger and stuff like that. So that we could tell that really hurt him. the fact that he lost jukebox.
Right. Okay, so that leads us to, them connecting now because, he sees her burning the clothes and, here he go, oh, we're gonna go confront her. Basically that's probably the thought process that he had. You know, I don't even know why they even went to go talk to her, to be honest with you. They should have just moved on. But
Yeah,
so they go to talk to her, and she slaps him in the face, because he said, you left us to go run after, a basketball player, etc. When Jukebox, you know, basically stopped Marvin from putting his hands on her, I thought she was gonna hit him. I mean, hit Kendra. Just,
possibly.
I thought she was gonna hit her. Like I really, really did. And let me say, side note, real quick. You see, she back to the braids.
Yeah,
Hmm.
You
without a
see, she
doubt.
back to the braids because when she was with her mother, she was getting her hair straightened, curling it up, trying to look cute. Now she back to herself with the braids.
Right.
So, but like you said, now they're able to connect.
Hmm.
They did have a moment in the car.
He did.
Yeah.
He was
And I
like, "I'm gonna."
think go ahead.
He was like, "I'm gonna hit you," but he ain't really mean to say that like that.
Hmm. Right. And
That,
he
that's a
corrected
funny ass
himself.
dude, man.
It's funny.
Right.
Dude retarded.
Right.
It's how you mean to
Right.
say it like that.
So it's, we talked about before that we didn't know if their relationship was going to be repairable, and it looks like it is.
Yeah.
You know, what she went through with her mother, you know, allowed her to, forgive him, I guess. So, so Marvin, 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 Marvin.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Marvin was doing really well, you guys. This whole season, we didn't get that normal, F up Marvin, the one that messes things up, you know? He was doing very well. It seemed like Lou was becoming more of the F up. Um, and he just could not let Tony breathe another day, and so he goes and he has Marcos, go and kill Tony. And, it backfires on him. And unfortunately, Unique knew about it. I'm sorry, yeah, Unique knew about it. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, the guy didn't die. I'd said last episode, that I felt like he died because he was in a chicken coop, whatever, but he did not die.
Right.
Um,
He ended up walking to the hospital.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that he knew that it was Marvin that, put the hit. I didn't remember that him and Mark was talking about that.
That was I don't. That was never discussed. That's why I said, how the hell did he know Marvin was the one that
Right.
set it up? How like, not to knock the show or nothing, but they kind of messing. You know what I'm saying? They kind of messing up a little bit in certain things, but they right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Right.
the only time we saw them together when they walked in and shot Tony. That's it. Like we
Well, in
didn't
the
see them
car, they
before.
had a discussion. And he
Hmm.
just said, my father is not supposed to know anything about
Yeah.
this. Keep this
Exactly.
between us. And you
Exactly.
notice when the dude was in the hospital talking to the father, he said, "Oh, I thought you sanctioned it." So he tried to save his own butt right there
Right,
because he
which
knew
didn't
that
work.
he did not.
Mm.
Hmm.
I mean, we all knew he was gonna die when he was in the
Right.
hospital.
Right.
Right,
Before they were at the hospital, before they went to the hospital, we knew he was gonna die.
right,
Sal is gonna get the info.
right.
Yeah.
That's it.
So Sal was so bent, on like, listen, I'm gonna find out who did this, to my son, basically who, put this in motion. And, they find out that it's Marvin. And, now he's like, listen, an eye for an eye, like, but I won't take your son because I like
Right.
kids. so I won't take your son, but it's an eye for an eye. You gotta, kill your brother. And Rock, like, listen, don't try to blame us for your son's F up. I was like, Rock, he's
Rock got a, and you know what? That made I admit, hey, I was wrong because I thought Rock was gonna be cold blooded and sell her brother out.
I
But
thought so. Too.
hey, what she said at that table in that one episode that family over everything.
Yeah,
I gotta respect it because she showed that, and she ready to go to war behind her brother, her family.
right, right.
yeah.
When she found out, she's like, no, 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 no. Like she she couldn't believe it, but with Marvin, you should believe it. Like you should believe it.
Yeah,
Even though he's been doing well, but you should believe it.
And I'm
Um,
surprised. You know what? Just another side note. I'm surprised Unique didn't sell out Marvin. I was a little surprised about that. I thought Unique would probably say something. I know he's under rock and everything, but they got him and Morel. We know they got like a little side agenda going on. So I
yeah, he
thought
got a
he,
bigger game plan. He playing
yeah,
chess with it. He not gonna just turn his
no,
back and show disloyalty.
yeah,
right. I was a little surprised too, though, because when he said, "Well, Marcos always did everything on his own," I was like,
exactly.
"Okay, okay."
Yeah, police like they acting like they really trying to work together or something. But we know Unique and Morel, they gonna do their own thing eventually.
Right.
But you can't lie. That scene when they was all in the room and he was like, he know.
Yeah, yeah.
Marvin was like, nah, yeah, nah. They know
Right,
they on your top.
right,
Yeah,
right. So, um, Marvin, he goes to talk with Renee. He's so happy he got a breakthrough, and the first person he wanted to go talk to was Renee because he liked her. Same way the moment she saw Marvin, Marvin, oh my gosh, oh, oh.
Hell
Like,
yeah, in love,
yes, like, girl, she's so giddy and so happy. Like, okay, relax, like, damn. But so he want to talk to her. I didn't see this coming that they was gonna come there and shoot him. Um,
I I kind of did when shit like that going on when they the how they was having the little background music and the scene the way it was set up. I was like somebody finna get killed.
mm,
It's just the power the way they set up power. But we
I
know
right.
didn't.
we know you got a good assumption of who got shot for real.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that Marvin may have got hit,
Yeah,
but I think that Renee is not going to make it.
nah, she's not.
And
I
I
don't even
think
think Marvin got hit to be real. I think they might have missed completely and hit her.
my thing was, why did you even call his name? Why didn't you just shoot?
Yeah, yeah, I didn't understand that part of it either. It didn't make no
Well,
You
sense.
know,
probably because they had his back. So they wanted to see his face to make sure that he
to make sure
was
that
who he
was him.
was.
Make
Yeah,
sure that was
which they still screwed up because if you look like mafia people don't even that's not even how they carry out hits for real for real. Like they gonna make sure you dead. They gonna shoot more than one time, more than three times because they gotta make sure you dead. They would have walked up
And
on him.
I was about to say that too. Like they didn't even walk up on him to make sure that he was
Right,
dead.
right.
So
right.
Sal is gonna be pissed because not only did you miss with Rock,
At the
now
castle.
you missed again.
Yeah.
Like,
So
what's going on?
I don't know what Buddy
And his
name is.
son did because of the both the son's homeboy or whoever that's a part of the mob did the little whatever, and it's like now he gonna be thinking, yo, like is y'all trying to betray me on the low? And now he gonna look at everybody funny. That's how I feel like he gonna start thinking being suspicious. Like hold on, now first it was dude, now it's my right hand man. Like something ain't right.
The
Mhm.
sharpshooter. That's probably his main sharpshooter guy to go to. One of his go-to guys for that type of stuff.
I think
He,
that's his main guy.
he
Hmm.
been quiet.
Exactly.
He may not make it to episode. He may not make it through episode 9. If especially if Marvin's still alive.
It's possible.
Being honest,
Bro might
Miss
get
Renee.
capped for real.
I don't know. I don't think she's gonna make it though.
Nah,
Sal
Unless
doesn't come across to me as like a real angry person.
mm,
like he doesn't come across as like a real ruthless person. You know what I'm saying? He has a heart, like I mean, think about it, like he's concerned about the kids,
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
know, and he was like, listen, I'm not going to ask you to kill your own son. Anybody else would have been like an eye for an eye. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So he doesn't really strike me. Now, this has happened to his son, so maybe he'll change. But I don't know. Even that whole conversation he had with Rock was just weird to me because he was just like being cool with her there.
he talked
Like,
Yeah.
about bowling, and then he's like, "Your brother gotta go."
yeah, it was just too
That was the next
casual of a
topic on the
conversation.
I mean, that's usually how, like, I watched a few different documentaries on Italian mobs and stuff. That's usually how they operate. They don't Most of them don't believe in killing kids. So I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, that's kind of seemed like the same type of stuff. But Rock is just like, I don't know, she too gangster for her own good. Like she better be glad he ain't nod his head for them to kill her.
Right then
Which
and there, I know.
I
or
kind of
Keenan.
feel like that's what's gonna happen. I feel like they the ones that's gonna kill her now. I don't know for sure if it's Kanan no more.
Yeah,
Well, to me, it was real disrespectful for her to say, we're not going to pay for your son's F up. Like,
True, true.
that
You
was
gotta
so
at least find a way
disrespectful.
to deliver the news and like, yo, like go about it in a more respectable way. He came to you with respect. You disrespecting him. You know.
yeah.
Right.
I think if Sal and the Italians go after Rock, I think he's gonna try to get Unique to do it possible. He's gonna at least
I,
ask.
well,
Yeah,
you saw in like the next, I feel like I saw him talking to him about something in the next episode.
Yeah,
yeah,
So
about
that is, and he
yeah,
asked him to do something and Unique wasn't down for it, I feel.
exactly,
right.
and that's why some of
So,
that he was talking about
yeah.
being betrayal and all that.
So I
And
think that is what's coming up next, definitely, because he can get close to them. You know what I'm saying? So I
hmm
definitely think that that is what is coming up next. Definitely.
what if
And
Um,
Unique die in the next episode?
I don't
That's
see
gonna
that
be some
happening.
crazy shit.
I think
Bruh.
Royale would die before Unique, but I mean it's a possibility though. It's a possibility.
Power is power.
It's power, yeah.
We never thought that Ghost would die. And then look what
Yeah, but
happened.
look how long it took Ghost to die.
That's
Seasons.
true. But at the same time, Unique ain't Rock and Kanan neither.
Right, right. Unique is on the level of like 2-Bit and Dre.
Yeah.
So they're needed, but I mean, but
Or
they're not needed.
you could even say on the level of Kanan when Kanan was in Power, the original Power.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
like
They
we
keep
enjoyed
it
having
for a couple
Kanan in there as an
seasons.
enemy and kind of a friend later on, and then when he
frenemy.
died, it was like damn. But then you still enjoy watching the show because of all the other stuff.
What's still going
Well,
on?
like I kind of mentioned, like the storyline at this point is, it's going to be getting old. So,
Yeah.
there is really no need for Unique to go into the next season.
True.
We did 2 seasons of this, unless he's going to be back on top
As
Right.
we
and
Which
they're going to go to
I
war.
doubt that'll happen though, because he under too many
But
people.
yeah,
But let me just bring up real quick since we're talking about Rock and how she is and the things she says and does. Um, we saw that she went and got she's getting Traymont's guy out of jail, and I know she's going to use that to her advantage so that she can get the DC market. She knows what she was doing there, just like Cardia said. You got to show these people that you are needed, that they can't do it without you. And that's what she's doing. He wouldn't do it for them. She's like, I got it. I'm going to do it. So she's, that's going to be tricky right there, man, because she's playing smart, but she's also playing deadly
Yeah.
because he ain't
yeah,
going for that. Cartier ain't going for that.
yeah.
He
Cartier
will
got too
kill
many
her.
connections. Yeah,
And he
But then again, his connections, the connections he got, the way he moved to is the way he move is just like he gonna make an enemy out of the people that he's supposed to have respect him mutually. He not showing them respect. Like you see how he slapped the dude, then how he
mm,
Right.
talked down to the other dude. Now it's
mm.
like, bro, like you making the enemy of the people you supposed to be connected to.
It's because he's failing himself way too much.
Right.
Way
He
too
came
much.
he came into Kanan feeling himself in this season, feeling himself.
Right.
So
Facts. Facts.
see what
All right.
happens.
So since Cartier, we can just go right over to Zisa and Lou. So we knew that they was gonna end up having sex, man. And she a little freak,
Right.
man. That's what she want to do.
For
Totally
real, like
then.
all the time.
Like, damn, girl, relax. But so he finally confronts the radio guy and he's like, yo, you gonna play our song? Yo, the dude tried to play him at first, because Crown gave him that thought that he could play him.
Right.
So dude tried to play him at first, and he pulled that gun out on him. Zisa's laughing about it. She like that, you know. She giggling, all that, etc. He's like, okay, I'll play your stuff. He plays it, so they happy, so now they can have sex, whatever. But at the end, we see that Crown is found.
Hmm.
Um, what do you guys think is going to transpire here?
Well, I think Lulu messed it up, and I think this is gonna come back and bite him definitely because they know what company he worked for and all that bulletproof records. They going straight to Lulu and Cartier. I think Lulu owns what 75% and Cartier owns what 25% of it. So I think it's gonna definitely come back on Lulu. He's gonna have to go through, I guess, Cartier. Hopefully, he has enough connections to kind of just help him out with this. But it may come down hard on you, Lulu. He may get locked up for this, or worse.
My thing is this. Why do we think that Lulu would go down for it unless there's evidence on Crown? Um, what ties Lulu to being the one that killed him and put him in the water?
Nothing really, to be honest. But what could happen is because Cartier is a part of it, and they might have already been investigating him.
Now,
Then what if they come?
Cartier, go
Yeah,
ahead, go
no,
ahead.
you good, you good.
I was gonna say, now that's where, I was watching, I think it was MovieBot today, and they brought up that possibly they're gonna try and pin that on Cartier,
I could see
that
that
murder.
because they probably already investigating him. For from the
Mhm,
stuff he do, like they know he ain't just getting it off of investments. They know he washing his money. They just can't. I'm sure they just can't figure out a way to bust him like that.
mhm.
And I feel like, and it's going to come down to who does Lisa have more loyalty for too, Cartier or Lulu.
And you
Uh,
already know it's gonna be Lou.
Lulu,
I was gonna say I feel like it's gonna be Lou.
yeah, because
Yeah.
she remember she saw what happened,
Well,
so
in
Hmm.
my opinion, she helped dispose of the body probably.
she
More than
probably
likely.
have.
So
So
she's involved.
she's
So
definitely
she
So
involved.
definitely
if
gonna flip it on him.
so if
Yeah,
Lou goes down, she possibly go down, depending on how, Lou handles it with her. And he might be like, listen, don't worry, I got it. Or he might be like, you was involved too.
yeah. I wish
He don't
Power.
really strike me as a snitch though. So he probably wouldn't snitch. Nah, she still might end up getting killed if it go down like that, but I don't think he gonna snitch though.
I
Well,
feel
I don't
like they
think he
should have
snitched,
showed.
but maybe he was threatened.
You said what?
Huh?
I said I don't think he would switch, but maybe he would threaten that he would.
Mm,
Yeah.
possibly. But I feel like Power should have showed what Lulu has done to the body instead of just him showing up in the river. They should have showed that part. Like, did he have somebody else do it, or did he do it himself? He probably did it himself more than likely, but we
Right.
don't know. I wish they would have showed that part. They just showed him
I'm,
getting strangled and Z said, "Watch."
and it's
That's it.
also easy for Lulu to just tell the police, like, listen, he owed a lot of money to people, and there were people after him. I don't know who, but there were people after him, you know?
Jamaicans. We forgot about them. He could pin it on the Jamaicans.
Well, we know, like we just talked about, he's not gonna snitch.
Yeah.
Right.
But he
Or
could say, that there are people after him. Like, I don't
yeah,
know who, but he owes a lot of money.
But you know who might snitch though to save her
yeah,
brother?
Oh,
Rock.
Rock.
Yeah.
Because if
We'll see.
she's already an informant,
When
what makes you think she ain't gonna go and tell Howard about that and get Howard involved?
listen, makes sense because if you remember on the first season, she went to Detective Howard and gave him information about Unique's re-up and
Yeah.
stuff
Yep.
like that. So
Mhm.
in reality, she is still an informant,
Facts.
basically, to this
Yeah.
day.
And
Even
she
though she's, the queen pin or, whatever, she's still an informant. She
she's gonna be
does what benefits her, kind of like what Tommy's father said when Tommy said, "You would have snitched," and he said, if you're doing something to better yourself, it ain't snitching, it's just business, you know?
that's true.
So she may be looking at it like it's just business. And she's
Right.
already used to being a snitch, but still, it's just business.
And Rock is
So,
gonna protect her brothers, and she's gonna protect Jukebox and Kanan over anybody else. That's
mm.
just for her. You know
Yep.
that.
Should I even wonder, did Rock snitch on her brother when they
I,
when they rode up to his house and he went to jail and she took over?
I think she did.
You think she, you think she
Possibly.
did? I've been
I
thinking about
believe she
that
did.
lately.
Yeah.
That
Possibly.
she did that.
Where do you
So
Yeah,
think?
I think she did.
I guess we'll find that out,
We'll find.
eventually if that happened because once they find out that she was an informant, they're gonna be looking at her funny.
Yep.
Mm,
Once they find out that if they find out Detective Howard is Kanan's father, they gonna be looking at her funny.
exactly.
Right. Or if he
Exactly.
So,
if he bust out and say, you and start naming everything, came to my son and you was my informant and da 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 da, bruh,
mhm.
Because
that's gonna be wild as hell.
it wasn't just a DNA test in that in the book bag in that note. It's probably some other things like more information about how she was an informant, other secrets about Rock that Howard knew, and he told Kanan. So Kanan knows everything, and probably Fame too. Fame knows everything too.
Well, I don't know because it doesn't seem like there was more in there than just that DNA result, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was just reading it. It was only a DNA, but who
Because it was
knows,
only
man?
like one piece of
The
paper
previous
there,
episodes, in the
and that
previous
was a
Right, it was
episode,
just one
small
piece.
envelope.
yeah,
Right.
I think it was a previous episode that Howard said he had a list of is a list of things. I think he told Kane it was like a list of things that I need to tell you about your mother. He did say that. Like I think it was either episode 7 or episode 6.
Right.
He did say
I
that. So
mean, I remember something like that, but I think in my opinion, he was just more concerned with proving that he was the father.
okay,
I don't know that he's necessarily ready to tell Kanan about his mother's past. Um, but I mean, remember he said to her, like, what are you gonna do when he catches up, on all your lies
yeah,
and
that's
etc.
yeah,
So, maybe eventually he will, but I don't think he did that yet. I think right now he's just concerned with just trying to prove that he's his father. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I've been wrong lots of times on this show, more than I'd
that's
like to admit.
Shit, the way power be twisting stuff, ain't nobody ever. It's rare that they right, and if they right, it's just like luck.
Hmm.
and sometimes I'll watch a movie by earlier. They were saying that sometimes the smaller characters they're there for a reason. Like Scrappy's mom is there for a reason. She had a scene in this episode for a reason. So I think something's really going to happen.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's that behind this.
yeah, definitely. I agree there. Because why
It'll
show
make
it? Same way I talked about Jukebox seeing Detective Howard go to the house. Why did she see that?
right. But we haven't
So
seen
Right.
yeah.
She gonna run Detective Burke probably.
I'm thinking Detective Burke is gonna roll up on her next on Juke.
Oh yeah.
And, she's probably gonna say, I'm accused of giving you guys drugs or something.
Hmm.
And that's how it's gonna come up.
But see, the thing is with Detective Burke, she doesn't have that much rank, so she could easily get transferred. But I guess for the show, she's just gonna just stay in that location or just get fired. You know.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens.
And we'll see what
We will
happens.
see. So, do we have anything that we would like to add?
Okay, I got one thing. One thing. Now this is crazy. I don't believe it, but I seen this little clip on YouTube. You know the guy who was when Rock and her connect was sitting down talking with I can't think of her name, but the girl who got abducted by Unique, kidnapped by Unique, her
Mm-hmm.
cousin and all three of them was sitting down and there was a guy that was in there and he
Yeah,
was
the one
looking
that was
around.
watching for Tremont.
Right.
Yeah. I seen them and they was like people were like, "That's Breeze." I was like, "Bruh, y'all don't know who Breeze is yet, man. Chill."
Chill
But
out.
I don't
everybody
think
just
that's Breeze.
they think everybody Breeze. I'm talking about you could be the damn waitress and motherfuckers is like, "Oh, that's Breeze. That's gonna be Breeze."
You
Man,
wanna know
chill
what I
out.
read today?
Yeah. I
That they
saw some.
try to say that Famous was gonna turn into Breeze. I'm
Nah.
like,
I
how?
seen that. I seen that.
I
Yeah,
see. After
how?
watching one episode of Raising Kanan, I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna never happen.
Yeah, come on now, how?
They
How?
they trying to say because Famous dumb. But Famous ain't got no heart either though. Like Famous ain't just walking around popping folks and shit. You know what I'm saying?
What's funny is I saw somebody say they was talking about it and they was like, yeah, they say he said the streets need a body and yeah, they gonna get a body, his body. I was
But
like,
it definitely is fine. I
They
saw
ain't what?
I saw something crazy on the internet, on YouTube, that Palomar might be pregnant and Kanan might be the dad. I don't believe it, but I just saw it. You know, it's just a theory
Yeah.
out there, one of those crazy theories.
well, I
So
hope not, because
I
are we saying that that's Sean's mother? But nah, because I don't think she was
Nah.
out here.
they said that she might be pregnant, but
Nah,
it's just a
Sean could have had a brother that he didn't know about. And then he could get introduced in book two, in book two later on, but I don't know, Power, if Power, that would be crazy.
crazy.
Mm,
They'd have to
Like,
do a lot of twisting with the writing.
yeah, it's a
right,
lot of crazy theories out there. But
right, right. Well, I mean, we know Famous he's going into next season because, he was on the Who Has It podcast and he was talking about how they're already filming right now for the new season. So he's going into next season. Um, but I guess we'll see. We'll see. Okay, do y'all have anything else to add?
Nah, that was it.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank y'all for watching. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry, if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And we'll be back next week to do episode 9. Let's hope that we get a bigger death, because usually episode 8 we get a big death. We didn't really get that at all. So let's just hope that we get something, like wow, I felt like this episode was like a build up to get where we're going. So yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah,
yeah,
hopefully. So all right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Bye.